Hey everybody, it's another Heroclix podcast. I'm your co-host Alec Musser, and I'm here with my co-host Manny.
Hello, hello.
And we are here. We have a special treat today. We are here with the Origins champion, Denny Bobledyk, and his son, Brody, as well.
Hello, hello.
You guys have the same intro. That's so cool.
It's simple and easy.
All right. So Denny and Brody, why don't you guys give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself, how long you've been playing Heroclix for, how long you've been playing competitive, anything like that.
You bet. So I'll start off and then hand it over to Brody almost immediately because it was actually my sons that got me into Heroclix. Our nephew came over and introduced the game to them. And then we started playing it and then taught it to my dad. A lot of people will say, "Oh, how'd you get your sons into Heroclix?" And he's like, "Oh, well, they actually got me into the game." So yeah, that's been kind of fun. Got it from my cousin, kind of shared it with the family. So about 10 years, you think? 10 years as of this month. So Tyson, we have another son. A brother for Brody, I guess. He started playing with you in first grade and Brody in fourth grade. Yep. So yeah,
Did you guys have any prior superhero knowledge or tabletop gaming, any kind of background in that before Heroclix?
Yeah, so I definitely liked Marvel characters and everything. I didn't know a whole bunch about them, but I at least knew about the Hulk. So my dad had a Hulk figure in his bedroom. I was like, "Oh, who's that guy?" It's the Hulk. So I knew about those guys. I knew about some characters I'd heard of Marvel movies and just known as some of those characters and had heard of them, but I really got to know them more in Heroclix.
And then I'm a lucky man because my wife actually also likes Marvel and Marvel movies. So we actually go as a whole family most of the time on opening weekend for all the Marvel movies. So it's kind of a fun tradition.
Heck yeah, that's so cool. I can't wait to do that with my kid, but because my wife and I also do like the Marvel movies.
Yeah, that's great.
So we're going to go into just a little segment real quick talking about the games we're playing. If there's any board games or video games that you guys have been playing that you want to recommend to people who love Heroclix, this is the time to talk about it. Because Manny and I, we both love board games. So every time we get together, we play Heroclix, but then we play a couple other board games as well. And we always go board game shopping. So Manny, why don't you start us off with a board game that you've been playing recently that isn't unmatched?
Recently?
I got you with that one. I knew you were going to say unmatched.
Well, I'm trying to think of what I'd be playing recently. Well, I did buy a older board game from a toys. It was like a toy auction type thing. It was the Uncanny X-Men Alert adventure game. So I've been in the current process of learning and playing that, which I really like. It comes with a bunch of small figurines as well too.
I'm looking it up. I've never heard of that.
It's old, man. I think it's from the
holy moly.
90s, maybe early 90s. I'd have to look.
It's got Wolverine's Archangel, Nightcrawler, and Cyclops on it. It's green.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
got a black box.
Excellent. That looks interesting.
Yep. We recently just purchased that for $20.
Oh yeah, those are the cool miniatures. Those are cool.
Yep. It's pretty much like it's pretty much kind of like Heroclix, low-key. There are 3 types of villains on the board that you can battle. You roll dice to determine if you can attack them or if they attack you, and you just first one of who beats the most villains wins.
Interesting. That looks really interesting. Cool. Bobledyks, any games that you guys been playing lately?
Board games, not specifically. I mean, I guess chess maybe, but that's a year ago.
Heck yeah.
Mainly been Heroclix. So I've been doing a lot of video games too, especially Halo Infinite. Been playing that with one of my friends.
Heck yeah. So, Halo Infinite's really fun and it's free.
Yeah, that's really nice. Been playing it since day one, since it came out in 2021.
That's awesome. That's such a fun game. Halo games are really fun. I really enjoy those games.
Tyson and I actually learned how to play Onslaught, which is that other game from WizKids.
Yeah.
You played that yet, or?
I haven't, and every time I tell my wife we're gonna sit down and play this because we're both huge board game fans, we just got busy or got sick or something, and so it's literally been sitting on our dinner table, opened up and ready to play. Like it's like in the box still, but it's all unboxed, like all unwrapped and everything.
Yeah, it's a really interesting game, especially, obviously if you enjoy Heroclix too. So
That sounds like a really fun game. The board game that I've been playing recently, I'm back on the Scythe train. I don't know if you guys ever played Scythe or Scythe, however it's pronounced.
I have not.
I haven't.
It's made by Stonemaier, who makes Wingspan, if you've heard of that game. That game got really popular a couple of years ago. But if you like Settlers of Catan and Risk, it's kind of like that. So you each have a faction that you control, and you have to gather resources to build your armies up, and also like your civilization. And you can go battle each other, but you can also do agricultural stuff. It's almost kind of like Civilization, the video game. If you like the Civ game, Sid Meier's Civs.
Okay, cool.
But yes, so those are the board games that we've been playing. All right, Denny, you won Origins. Let me ask you this real quick. How do you feel?
Oh, it felt absolutely amazing. Like Origins is such a big event, big gaming convention. We've been to Origins 4 times before that. We started out in 2016, and then 17, 18, 19, and then COVID happened. This is our first time being able to go back there. So to go there and to win the whole thing, it just felt absolutely wonderful.
Was this one of your biggest, or if not your biggest, win?
So I did win Indianapolis States last year, and that was a big win, and that felt really good. I took top 4 in Illinois last year, and then what was I for Worlds? Top 16, yeah, top 16 in Worlds. So this does feel like the biggest win for me. So yeah, it felt really good, and definitely the biggest prizing that I got with the factory set of the brand new set that just came out. That was super exciting,
Yeah, and that's a really good set to have a factory set of.
Oh yeah, all the chases. We played last night with it. I played an assassin team. Tyson, my son, played a multiple man team, and
I just ran Private Colossus, test him out, see how he worked on a ruler theme, and he did pretty well. I mean, I went like 3-0. So
wow, yeah, he's scary. I'm interested to see what people can do with him.
Yeah, he's definitely meta changing as well.
Yeah, I agree. Him, actually, all the primes, except for Vox Ignis, but I think with sorry, Vox, dude, you not the best, but
the one prime I pulled.
The one prime,
I did pull the rogue. But...
You did pull the rogue. I think the rogue and Colossus for sure, in my opinion, are the 2 primes that are which are the rare primes, which is weird. Anyways,
right?
Yeah, for real, yeah. All right, Denny, do you want to talk about your team real quick? I know we'll talk about that later, but why don't you talk about the team that you guys, because you and your son all kind of helped make it, right?
Yeah, so we have a really good group here that plays at our local gaming venue called Gamers Wharf, and we show up and we play every week, and we play meta 300 point every week, and then when we're done playing, if the weather's nice, we actually pull some chairs out of the back of our truck and sit out in the parking lot for an hour or 2, and we just try to make our teams better. So that's been great. Brody's a part of that. Tyson's a part of that. Rob Olger, Max, Scott he moved, but he also, Scott Crampton, he used to play at our venue every single week. He still comes there every now and then, once a month or once every other month or so. But yeah, it's great. So we all sort of forged this team together. So yeah, and Corey Gould. We actually named the team after Corey because he got a new job, a new promotion, and it's the type of job that takes a lot of responsibility, and he's on call all the time. So he hasn't been able to show up to Heroclix as much. So we named the team after him. We called it Corey's Job Sucks.
That's really cool. I've never heard of that. That's something I feel like I should do more. I think that's a really cool idea. Do you feel like
it's really fun? Fun group of people to hang out with, and fun group of people to talk about those things. So
especially if the weather's nice too, then I mean, why not sit outside for 2.5 hours or whatever, and instead of standing out. So
it's kind of funny because we'll see the police officers drive by every now and then, and they just see us and think it's just probably a bunch of geeks talking about, a plastic miniature game, I guess. I don't know.
Do you guys like pull out the board like on the back of your truck and start like theorizing?
No, we don't. We don't usually do that. However, we did try to work out some initial moves for the Poison Ivy team because placement was pretty tricky. That team, I can actually go to the history of the team right now if you want, Alec.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so that team actually started off as an Alpha Strike team. I really actually like that Poison Ivy that brings that pog in, that does the flurry. What Poison Ivy was that again?
Notorious, I think of
the rare.
The rare Poison Ivy. So I like bringing her in and popping that pog out and flurry, exploiting for somebody, but I just wasn't getting the type of results that I wanted from it. It was just getting beat by too many teams. So I started looking for like better Alpha Strikers, and then I even looked at like Spider-Man Noir again because he pops out pogs, and Brody played Spider-Man Noir on his team at Worlds last year and did really good.
States.
Oh, States?
Playing with States, yeah, he was really good, and then I figured I need to switch over to Carnage Surfer, and but he worked out phenomenal. I mean, I got third place in Indiana, second place in Noir, so he's not as bad as people think.
And then we had someone show up, Austin show up and play the Iconics Poison Ivy, and I was just intrigued by it, and I was like, how can I take advantage of this? So I had tried like some teams where I would like carry the plant marker over and then Alpha Strike from that, or Man Thing, but they just weren't really working in playtesting. So then it kind of became a matter of how many Poison Ivies do I want, and ended up settling on 4 because 4 has such great map reach for the small maps, and then also really liked 4 because if we added the red ring to 1, we were able to pen poison and then poison 3 times, which just would melt Scott Porter's, which Scott Porter is a figure that we all know is on a lot of teams. So,
yep, he is. That is for sure.
Yeah, so that was kind of exciting going with that. And then the Harley Quinn, the Iconics Harley Quinn. If the Poison Ivies are adjacent to her, then they take a maximum of 2 damage, which is kind of nice. So it gives them a little bit of sustainability, but the goal was to try to, kill a team before they actually get to the Poison Ivies. If they get to the Poison Ivies, I still had a few tricks up the sleeve, but it definitely wasn't as durable, as a lot of the other teams out there. So
yeah, that's for sure. And plus, you get the 12 attack from Harley, right?
12 attack from Harley, copying that with a Batman enemy, and then I was able to perplex it up by 1 because all of the Poison Ivies had perplex. So put the blue ring on the 25-point super rare Harley that also has Empower, which means I was swinging 13 for 5 to the plant markers, which also did some pretty good damage.
Yeah, that's super brutal.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So that means you played 4 Poison Ivies, Harley Quinn, and then was there anybody else on that team?
Yep. I also had, let's see here. Yeah, so 4 Poison Ivies, the 25-point super rare Harley Quinn, the 45-point Harley Quinn from Iconics, and then the blue ring and the red ring on each of the Harleys. And then for the last 30 points, what's that?
The red ring on Ivy for the poison.
Oh, yeah, red ring on Ivy, sorry. Yep. And then for the last 30 points, I played, was it Iron Spider? Or
Iron Spider for 30 points, yeah.
Iron Spider for 30 points, just because he does so much. He gave me my leadership. He gave me Outwit. He's got Charge Flurry. If you get your leadership, he can nullify their equipment.
Yeah,
I had great feed for that, though.
Yeah, but I mean, that's totally worth it, in my opinion. Because you're getting so much passive buffs without Scott Porter.
Yep.
Clearly it's worth it,
Yeah, it worked out, so.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's super cool. Did Iron Spider end up, besides the leadership, or obviously, I bet that's really, did he do anything else on the team?
Iron Spider played a key role in 2 matches. One was against PJ.
Okay.
And then one was in the finals. So I will save those for the match breakdown. If you want me to jump into that right now, I can do that.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about the matches at Origins.
So I got them out here. I'll just spend some more time on the bigger ones, I guess. Round 1, I played with Gabe. Gabe, he had a detective team as the first time.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's
Gabe is also from where I play too.
Oh, that's great.
100 point Batman Prime.
Yep, Batman Prime.
Yep, Batman Prime. He had a really interesting team. But knowing that he had 2 porters on the team, I knew right away that I was able to melt them. So I was already going to be up 50 points from being able to kill the porters. So that was interesting to sort of see how the team was going to work out. It's the first time I actually played it with Iron Spider because we just added that. But it worked out really well. I think by turn 2, he was in a tough position. I wasn't really sure what to do. Round 2, I played Dan Powell, who's an amazing competitor, very tough to win against. He was playing a team. I think I went second, so I put him on Morlock Tunnels. And again, he had double porters, and basically anybody that was playing people on their team that didn't have damage reducers, they were going to struggle. And that's kind of when we were talking about this team and we kind of finished this team, we realized it was going to definitely be meta changing, because if it did well, you're going to rethink about putting those crazy little support pieces on your team that have no damage reducers, just because the poison ivies, can just melt them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Round 3 was a tough matchup against Isaac. Isaac was playing double Kong, Mern, Iron Inquisitor, double Porter. So I was happy for the double Porter because I knew I could melt them. But double Kong is tough. One Kong is already tough because Kong can get all the way over the map and then do the quake. And my team typically is all huddled up together. I also didn't realize that Mern keeps me from positively modifying my combat values. So that was a bit of a surprise. And Isaac obviously is a great player, so he just put everything right in my face, so I couldn't up my values. So that was the first loss of the day, which actually took some pressure off because I don't know, it just took some pressure off the rest of the day for me. Round 4, I played Ethan. Ethan was playing double Porter, double Carnage Surfer, Mephisto. I was able to poison and kill his porters. The nice part about my team is I can knock Carnage Surfer down to the click where he doesn't get the second attack. So that makes him a little bit less scary. So that went well. Round 5 was a really tough matchup. I played PJ. If you've ever played PJ before, he's super fun to play against. Really good competitor. He was also playing an Ivy team. He was playing 2 Ivies, a Man-Thing, Professor Moriarty, and I forget some of the other pieces that he was playing. But I was super concerned about that matchup because he could obviously poison and kill both, or not kill, but weaken my poison Ivies, or kill them in 2 turns, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a great battle. Iron Spider actually did some pretty good work in there. PJ also had some pretty bad luck. I think he crit missed with his Man-Thing when he was attacking me. I know, knocking him down a click. I actually, because he wiped out so many people, I was actually able to bring in Amanda Waller, who gives me leadership, outwit, and perplex. So I was able to move up with a little help from PJ. Outwit his Man-Thing, and then charge his Man-Thing with my Iron Spider, and Iron Spider actually crit hit. So I was able to win that one, but that match was back and forth. Like, I actually thought after he did his first attack against me, I thought I was dead. He was playing the trick arrows on Poison Ivy, and I'm not exactly sure how he did it, but he was able to quake with those, and just really nasty combination. People talk about what needs to be fixed, I guess. I think the trick arrows maybe once per turn or something like that.
100%. I totally agree with that. It's so oppressive, especially just chaining off each other. Yeah. It makes, not saying Hawkeye wasn't good without trick arrows, but it definitely elevates characters like Hawkeye and Hawkeyes. But
for sure. Yep.
And you could use it with non-range attacks. You can use it with close attacks, which I think is nuts too.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
definitely a good equipment that probably needs a little bit of revisiting. So I'm sure people are saying the same about Poison Ivy, but Poison Ivy definitely changes the meta in the sense, like I mentioned before, where you have to be careful with the support pieces you have, or make sure you have a few clicks of damage reducers. But they're definitely beatable as it showed. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
that was my last round playing PJ. Fortunately, I was able to get the W there, but it was super close. I actually thought he had it the game multiple times, but we both advanced and we both got out of pool, so that was kind of exciting. After pool, I played Azareth. He was playing a really interesting Necron team with what else was there?
Black Lantern and Green Arrow, and I think Black Lantern and Batman, and then I think the Porters were also there as well, and Butterfly.
Yeah.
Butterfly. Yeah, so he brought in it's like a fish Deadpool that replaced water.
Yes.
That gave people the fish symbols, so I couldn't.
Yeah, the X of Swords, super rare.
The Exoswords, yep, the Exoswords.
Yeah, the rubber ducky one, yeah.
Rubber ducky one, yeah. So fortunately for me, the ducky one didn't have any damage reducers, so I was able to poison it 4 times and kill it.
I totally forgot that you could just get around this whole thing with just poison.
I know, right? It was,
my word.
It was it was a really fun team to play in the sense that you could some of these Heroclix games can be super stressful. Spend a lot of time thinking about your moves. The thing that really attracted me to this team and just Alpha Strike teams in general is like after you sort of get things going, the game just sort of evolves. But this one with the poisons, it made the decisions a lot easier, which I liked because then I didn't have to think as much. So Azareth was a great guy, super good competitor as well. So I felt good getting the win there. Tough matchup for him, I'm sure. With half his team getting belted on turn 2. So that's tough. That was top 8. Top 4, I played Emilio. Super fun guy to play against. I think you guys said he's in your play group as well, or?
Yeah.
Yep. Shout out Emilio, the cheater. No, we could get it. He's probably, honestly, one of the best players I play against. I love playing against him because it makes me really think about every turn that I do.
Yeah, he was really good. I think he played Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye and Hawkeye.
With Starbrand. Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting because I'm sure people question the Starbrand, but the Starbrand was the hardest one for kill.
He gets a lot of crap for it.
Yeah, but Hawkeye and Hawkeye had no damage reducers. Porters had no damage reducers. So he did his best trying to figure out the best way to get there. He did a pretty good job. He got rid of 2 plant hindering train markers, and moved up. But it's a tough team to play against if you don't have any damage reducers. So again, the Poison Ivy's really just able to melt his porters and melt his Hawkeye and Hawkeye. So but yeah, he was a really fun guy to play. We both just at that point you're both feeling really good, like you made it top 4, So
yeah, no, absolutely.
And then in the finals I played Jalen. Jalen, tough competitor, great guy. We were both obviously excited to make it to the finals, so that was really cool. I think did he win roll?
I think he did, and he opted to go first.
Yeah, he won roll. Wanted to go first. I put him on Morlock tunnels. He had a decent matchup for me with Blackheart and Ghost Rider, Arachnite. But I was able to melt his support with my poison stuff, and then I was able to he missed a couple big rollouts on his Ghost Rider, so I was able to put his Ghost Rider down. And then it was really interesting because he was moving across the board and he almost had his Prime Absman put together. And my team doesn't do that great, I don't think, against Prime Absman because I have to attack him 4 times and Prime Absman gets to pick a power every time you attack. Yeah. And he's got a pretty deep dial and I'm not going to be poisoning him. So he had 1 Daredevil left, double tokened, and he had his Asman he was going to form the next turn. So I had to sit and figure out how I could get somebody out. Sounds silly, but get out to land on top of one of his Prime Absman's tokens to do the free action to move it away. Otherwise, I might have ended up losing that one. I don't know. His Prime Absman is just it's tough because he's got a deep dial and the damage reducers. So shoot through a blocking with one of the or punch a blocking with one of the Harleys, or poison ivy, shoot through the other one with the other poison ivy, perplex up my move speed, an iron spider, my MVP at the end there, and run out 10 squares to do the free action to move him away. So, but yeah, Jalen's a great guy. He had a really good team, and yeah, it was super exciting to be meeting him in the finals. So
yeah, then you won the whole thing. What were the spoils of winning?
Oh man, it was super exciting. It was a factory set. Never won a factory set before, so we were all super excited from the brand new set. So yeah, it was just really cool. And there's like tons of chases in the new set, and they kind of play off each other. You know, and then obviously the rare Prime Colossus has been getting a lot of attention. So we were super excited to be able to have all these figures. And then on top of that, lots of Connolly's. What else did we get?
We also got all the maps too, which was a little bit surprising because you think a factory set. I mean, at least I thought how they used to do it was factory set. You just get all the pieces, but we got like the legacy cards, no legacy figures, but just the cards and all the pogs, all the dice that came with the figures. Yeah, it was pogs, maps, dice. Oh, the terrain too, which was really interesting.
Yeah, it's just super exciting. Like, what a cool prize, you know?
Oh, 100%.
All the pogs. We got the time breaker pog, which is getting a lot of attention online right now too.
Someone was selling it for $300.
Yeah, I saw that.
Someone sold it for $150. Someone sold it for $200. So I won't be
gosh.
If someone can sell it for $300. I think the only way you can get them is through the factory set and through the chase boosters. So they're going to be really rare.
But it's a pog.
$300 is
like,
crazy.
That's
still.
what Kevin's going for like right now. And he's an ultra chase.
I know. Crazy.
Oh yeah, it's a great pog.
Right,
just to be clear. Do you have sorry, this is the one question I want to ask about the legacy cards real quick. Do you have the Weapon X to go with it? Because I don't know many people with the Weapon X.
We don't, but Max does, doesn't he? I'm not sure. He definitely played back then. I think someone in our play group has it, so we might have to reach out to Max to see if we can hit him up for that.
Heck yeah. No, I was like, I'm never going to find this piece. This piece is way too hard to find, and if I find it, it's going to be way expensive. So I
unfortunately got that one in my brick today.
Oh, you did?
Oh, the legacy card? Oh, cool.
Yep.
It's really good to sell. It's a good selling or trading fodder, but if you don't have the piece, it's really hard, I feel like, to get the piece.
Yeah, I hear this. Is it the Mastermind?
Yeah.
There's some weird function with Mastermind where you like the big colossal apocalypse can mastermind the people within whatever. Yeah, like there's like A squared or something like that. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
So anyone can mastermind.
Yeah, like the APOC especially because you don't have to carry the Wolverine around with you. So it's just anyone can mastermind to him, and then he just doesn't take damage, or there's something weird. Like nothing happens to him. Just the damage disappears.
Yeah, it's because of immune. How immune's worded is that character cannot be targeted or cannot take damage from opposing effects or just effects in general. So I don't know if they're going to change that, if they're going to say it can't be mastermind too. Either way, 40-point figure, it's still bananas. Right. Either way, but that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Shortly after the Origins, after it wrapped up and the teams were revealed and everything, then came the controversy behind the Poison Ivy teams, which is always fun. So I just wanted to know what your guys' thoughts were, and I have as Daniel Powell posted something in their podcast discussion group talking about just the weekend and the winning team, and he posted a meme that I think was made by Emilio, maybe.
Yeah, it was.
And then there's currently 202 comments on this whole thing. And I'll read some off to you, but I just want to hear what your initial thoughts are just on the controversy behind your Poison Ivy team.
I think it's really, just in general, I think it's really interesting because, porters, the double porters have been on almost every team that's been doing well, or at least one porter. So to have a team that doesn't have either of the porters on, and then to have a team that basically costs like the less than $100, less than the cost of like a Prime Spider-Man, or less than the cost half the cost of a Conchu.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, but I definitely understand the concern that people have. It's just Meta redefining. I think there's teams that can beat it. I just think that a lot of the teams that showed up at Origins weren't prepared to have their support pieces get melted like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think people are just complaining about, well, not complaining, but I think one of the big things that I'm seeing consistently is making Poison Ivy a once for all figures with this trait. Now, I'm not an expert or anything like that, but even if you made her unique, or if you made her a character that said that once per all figures with this trait, I feel like that would severely neuter her ability. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I'm not a game designer, so it's hard for me to, figure out what might work or what might not work. But it's like, when you would have metas where there's a very dominant character that's just doing really well, and you have to build a team that's capable of dealing with that team. If the Poison Ivy team sort of takes off, and that just means that everyone that shows up to the big competitive events need to make sure that they have a way to deal with it, which means, it's kind of neat because it kind of encourages people to play more of the beat sticks or the invincible, for 2 or 3 clicks.
Yeah, I think with the Ivies too, it's similar to what happened with the Prime Spider-Man last year, where he kind of came out with Necrosword, and you basically either had to play him or have a team that would play against him. So, I mean, I think that took off late spring, early summer, and then you basically, like I said, you had to play him or play something against him, like people were playing Demon in Armor. That was one of the good counters against Prime Spider-Man. I guess Scarlet Witch too. They kind of butted heads a lot because they're very, very similar. Necrosword ignored the shape change super senses, but then Scarlet Witch could just delete all of his powers. So definitely,
yeah, it's just kind of funny because Tuesday, the team that I played Tuesday would have, melted to my Poison Ivy team. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where things end up.
I'm interested to see where it goes too. I'm interested to see how people start. You guys think about this. You guys are meta definers right now. If you have a Heroclix post that gets 202 comments, you've done something in the game for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. We all felt pretty good about the team as we were sort of building it and forging it. And then to be able to execute on Saturday and have some good matchups. It was pretty exciting to get where we did with it.
Do you feel like adding or seeing a Krakoa on the other side of the board, on your side of the board? What do you feel about that? He's a plant marker maker as well, and he can do some pretty crazy stuff.
That was definitely interesting. I know PJ did really good with Man-Thing on the team. I think there's some options there. Krakoa looks interesting. The biggest problem that we have with the Krakoa is we have the legacy card, but we don't have the figure.
As soon as I saw that character get announced, I ran to Amazon because Amazon sometimes has those figures and singles, and I picked it up for like $11.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I luckily had that figure, so
what like all of them, don't we?
All of them except Krakoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
guy like group 2. He'd everything but Krakoa.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we could pick Krakoa on the team or not. It was tough finding the last 30 points, and we really brainstormed a lot about that. And Rob actually came up with the idea with Iron Spider, which is one of my favorite pieces. We tried to fit him on a team a few times before, but it was just a perfect fit, had everything there. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see, like, this is just iteration 1 of the team. I'm excited to see how people sort of take it to the next level and make it a better team.
I kind of have a question about Harley Quinn. How often did people opt to go second or first in your matches?
That's interesting. That's a good question. I'm trying to think here. Jalen went first. Emilio,
he picked map.
Emilio picked map, so I went first. Azareth picked map. I actually can't remember. I think I only won one roll off, and I don't even remember which one that was. But just as we were kind of play testing and sort of, forging the team together, we didn't feel like it really mattered if I went first or second. And that's why I was a little more comfortable with breaking the theme team. What's that?
You can keep going. I'll also say something afterwards.
After playing 8 rounds, I feel like it definitely would have been advantageous for me if I could have went first against PJ and could have went first against Isaac, who had gave me the toughest matches, I guess. Go ahead, Pete.
I say I was thinking too with the map choice and everything, because we were trying to, on the ride down there, we're trying to figure out how do you win if you're on small map, or I don't know, they put you on small map, they have double calling like what happened with Isaac, trying to get over there, or even some of the teams like what Robert Gallagher played last year, going like over the summer with the multiple apocalypse teams. So how do we go against those? And one of the biggest things we thought of was with maps, and what importance is winning map roll. And now that we don't have Black Shirt Porter and we don't have any theme teams, so no bonus whatsoever, they're likely going to win every single time. And we end up just deciding like nothing really mattered. They could put you on a big map, or they have you pick map. You just you pick Morlock tunnels. You throw the markers out there. They pick a big map. Now you're going first and putting markers out there, more space between you. And I also heard a lot of people discussing, like kind of walking around at Origins, and I've kind of run into some conversations, and people were saying, "Oh, this is how you beat the Poison Ivy teams. You gotta pick map. Make sure you get the map." And I'm like, I don't even think map matters at all, or anything like that. It just, I think it could do well on any sort of map or going first or whatever. So
interesting. It's really interesting to hear, because no, I think that's a really good point. I think it's kind of a deterrent. Like either I go, yeah, I get that. That's pretty cool.
I feel like now that the team is out of the bag and it's kind of out in the open, though, I feel like the top players will, or the meta players will, try to come up with some sort of answer for it. So I don't know. We'll see if the team is sustainable or not.
Yeah, because the plants could be just generated within 4 squares. It's not within line of fire, right?
Yep. No line of fire needed.
And they can be placed on squares that characters are occupying, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So the only way to get it and you can't, due to the rule of occupancy, it's only debris that you can't stack it on top of anything else except for debris, right?
Yeah, we looked at some things like that to try to stop it, but it's very cumbersome to try to come up with a situation where you can't end up putting the plant markers there. But we figured some people, I forget the rules for that. It always confuses me.
There's a blocking terrain that can't go on debris, because you're trying to figure out for the mirror match, how do we deal with that? Do we just throw debris up? We'll throw a barrier and then break it, and but
it's
tough.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like does smoke cloud cancel it out? Does just huge barriers work? But
you can put plant markers on smoke cloud, but yeah, it's definitely
Okay. Yeah, no, that's just very interesting. Very interesting. What do you have anyone thought? I know that the set just came out, but have you guys thought about the possibility of Magneto rising in popularity because of this team now?
Yeah, I was literally just looking that up right now.
Yeah. If you want to, I don't know if you guys know what Magneto does, but I don't know if Manny wants to explain it.
I literally just pulled up Poison Ivy to see if it was at the beginning of your turn or beginning of the game. Which would kind of, if you make me want to go first if I'm playing Magneto, because I can give Magneto a power action turn 1, and his trait says that opposing characters can't generate terrain markers, which would stop you from generating all your plant terrain markers.
It's within range, though, right, or no?
Yeah, it's within range.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in range, so you'd have to get Magneto up close, like within 6 squares.
Oh, yeah, you would have to get him up there, huh?
Yeah. But that was like one of the things that we were talking about in one of our group chats. I don't know if you see a Magneto, I don't know if you're like, I'm scared, or like you're just like, oh, it's fun. There's 100 points I could just score really easily.
The Magneto would have to get up there turn 1 to even stop them from generating the plant markers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting, I think, to look at pieces like that, and that's what makes Heroclix fun. Is you see a team that did well, and you can look up other pieces and say, well, I could just use this against that team, and that's what makes Heroclix fun, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's the best part.
Right.
That's what I love about your Poison Ivy team. So outside of the Harley Quinns, I think outside of the Harley Quinns, which are each $20 a piece to pick up the whole set, right?
It's like 25, I think, for the Harley and the Poison Ivy Iconics. So you need 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then the super rare Harley is only like $10.
Yeah, and Iron Spider was like 60 or something. So it's still like less than a Carnage Surfer, which is huge.
Yeah, for real. And then obviously Amanda Waller's pretty easy to get.
Shout out to Josh Bishop for giving us the idea to put Jacob Bishop for giving us the idea to put Amanda Waller on the team.
Oh, Arkham Asylum. Okay, that's the keyword. And Spy, and for Iron Spider too. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. It worked for both of them. So yeah. She does bring the leadership, which is nice. Like I said, the Outwit came in play for PJ's game, and I think the Perplex helped as well. So I brought her in against Isaac as well. Was able to get a few more points by killing his Ghost Goblin by outwitting, I think, his defense power.
Oh, yeah, because, the Outwit's huge. That makes sense. Other than that, I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding the Ivies, but it lost in Swiss. Like, your team lost in Swiss to Double Kong, right?
Yep.
And I know it was against Isaac, and Isaac is...
I was going to say,
yeah, I know, yeah, very, very super respectable player, like super, super respectable player. But, you've heard it from Denny himself. He said it's definitely a beatable team, but also it's a very evolvable team. I feel like.
I think so too. Yeah, like I said, we're curious to see, the next iteration or people who take it to the next level or just counter build it. I think it introduces the possibility of going back to some more of the beat sticks with Invincible and some of the deeper dials, and not just someone sitting in the back with, the little pot of support that's upping everyone's, values or doing whatever they're doing,
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Now, one more question about this team, and then we can move on. So you did fight a lot of Kongs, I'm assuming. Do you feel like Kong... Like, I know she only takes 1 damage, but you can't get any really damage except for attacking you can't get any passive damage on him.
Kong is definitely a tough matchup, and Kong was super prevalent at Adepticon, but we were able to work it out so we could get 3 attacks on Kong, and if I was going first, the 3 attacks, which would be 13 for 5, and then with the Harley Quinn, I had 3 shots to kill Kong, 3 shots for him to miss his impervious rollout, basically. And then if I was going first, then that would be able to kill Kong. But Kong's definitely a good matchup, and there's definitely some people at our venue that don't like Kong, just because Kong just smashes your team, But we'll see. Yeah, Kong kind of redefined the meta. I think Prime Colossus is going to redefine the meta, and who knows? Maybe this team will. Maybe this team won't. I don't know.
I really like this team. This is not, just to be clear, this is not a team I would personally play. It doesn't seem like my play style personally, but I really, really like this team. I think it's really unique. I think you guys did a super good job conceiving it. I know you've probably heard that a lot, but I do genuinely like this team. This team just kind of comes out of nowhere, and like with all the Kongs, Arachnites, Merns, Hawkeye and Hawkeyes, just seeing Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and I love when people play Iron Spider. He's so good. So
yeah, we love that piece too.
Well, actually, also today is Wednesday. Happy Deadpool Weapon X release day. Did you guys pull? I know you guys got the factory set, but did you guys get any bricks?
Yeah, so we got some bricks for that set. Just opened them up today. And we actually got Prime Colossus. So we have a second Prime Colossus.
Heck yeah.
And then we got the Weapon X chase, where he's like in his Weapon X armor, everything like that. And just kind of, forget what, it's just kind of like the one that in the tank. And that sort of,
Yep.
Right here. Yep. With his helmet on and the cables and everything like that. So we got him, we got the Prime Colossus, and then we also got the Wolverine and She-Hulk chase.
Oh,
nice.
Which is also a great sculpt.
Is there any, just real quick on this set one more time, and then we'll wrap things up. Is there any, besides Prime Colossus, is there any other figures in this set that you are like really, really excited to test out or try?
I don't know. I mean, we're not usually in the situation where we have like all of the chases right away. So just maybe try to come up with a team, that utilizes a bunch of them. That's just kind of exciting and something that normally we couldn't do. So how about you, bro?
Prime Colossus. I think he's cool. Yeah, I don't know. He's only got 3 keywords, which makes him a little bit difficult to play him on certain theme teams. But just being able to mind control whoever you want, dealing damage afterwards is definitely unique. And we'll see how he works out. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, seriously, for talking. Is there any shout-outs to is there anything that you guys want to shout out or talk about or give a special thanks to while we have you? The red carpet is all yours.
All right. Well, big shout out to God for allowing us to go there and allowing us to compete and have fun and meet all of these cool players. Big shout out to Jay for running the event. I thought he just crushed it. Big shout out to all the judges and all the supportive people that helped him run it. I thought it was just a really well run event. And a huge shout out to the Forge, which is our play group. What a great play group. Brody, you got anything to add?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the Forge for sure. And just everyone who is there at the tournament and Origins, just a very, very great place. Everything was very well run, very, very fast for pairings. Finished the game 5 minutes later. Like, you pack all your stuff up. By the time your stuff's packed up, you already got your next match, which was really nice. And yep,
Aaron and Anthony did a great job judging the event. So
Anthony Barnstable is one of the nicest human beings I've ever met.
I know, right? He's super cool.
We're going to do something really stupid. Oh my gosh, this is so long.
All right.
So we don't know how to do outro.
No,
Danny knows exactly.
You want to do the outro?
So basically, we didn't know what to do with our outro. So now every outro, we're just going to have ChatGPT write our outros.
Great.
Can you everybody read it?
Yep.
Awesome. And that wraps up another insightful episode of our podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
We've had such a great time discussing Origins today with our wonderful guest, Denny. Your insights have been truly invaluable.
Invaluable.
Your insights have been truly invaluable.
It would help if we could read.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you both for having me on the show.
And before you go, Denny and Brody, could you tell we already did this, but could you tell our listeners where we could find you guys playing Heroclix?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on Facebook, and you can find the Gamers Wharf on the Win.
Gamers Wharf, Granville, Michigan. Yep.
Fantastic. And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review if you enjoyed today's episode.
We'll be back, definitely not next week, but sometime eventually with another exciting conversation. Until then, take care and stay curious. They always ended like that. I don't understand why they say stay curious.
I like it.
All right, whatever.